Hello everyone and welcome back to this brand new video. So for today I have a deck called Ulamog. Now what does Ulamog try to do? That's a very good question. Ulamog tries to flash in Ulamog using what? That's a very good question. Now you don't want to flash in Ulamog with a card that makes you lose his cast trigger. So you flash it in using Electrodominance. And Electrodominance is a spell that says for 2 red and X you can deal X damage to something and then you can cast, and pay very close attention to the word cast from your hand something with convert mana cost X or less. So the dream scenario would be for us to cast Electrodominance for X equal 10. That way we get to cast Ulamog from our hand. That way we not only deal with a creature or a threat, maybe we can even throw this at our opponent's face. We can also just exile 2 things with Ulamog, and trust me, that should be enough to end the game. Now how do we get to that position? Do we just ramp into this? Not exactly. Since Electrodominance is an instant, we can use Wilderness Reclamation to kind of get into a position where we can do this. So if we have 6 lands with an active Reclamation on the field, we can cast Electrodominance for 10 mana, and that should be enough to cast Ulamog. Now how are we going to get to this position, and what do we do in case we don't draw into this combo? What we can do is we can use all of our very flexible spells to get there. I mean, Spectral Sailor, for example, with Reclamation is a very good card. Brazen Borrower is also a way for us to kind of stall the game into that. Uru can draw us either into the combo or just ramp us into it. Same thing for Growth Spiral. Chemist's Insight is a good way for us to get some card advantage, and sometimes you just, if you have 2 copies of Ulamog in your hand, if you don't need both of them, you can just pitch one of them. I mean, it is a 10 mana spell. Now a good question is, why am I only playing 2 Ulamogs, seeing that it's an Ulamog deck? Because the meta is so aggro focused, you don't want to have 4 10 mana spells in your deck, so you don't draw them consistently. I mean, you don't want to draw them, but you don't want to start your opening hand with a 10 mana spell against an aggro deck. That's why we're only playing 2. Wilderness is just the namesake of the deck. Frilled Mystic is so good. Like when you have an active Reclamation and a Frilled Mystic on the field, you are just set for ages. And one of my very close friends at my LGS used to play this combo. He used to play a Bound Flash deck. And if you're watching this, thank you for helping me become a better player. So with that out of the way, the final good spell in our deck is Thassa's Intervention. Now this spell is amazing, especially paired with Reclamation, because it can dig us very, very deep. But even if it's not paired with Reclamation, it's also a very flexible counter spell. So kind of like having a bunch of flexible cards is very good for you in this kind of decks, because you always want options, and I love having options in Magic. Now we are playing 28 lands to make sure that our Growth Spirals and our Uro hit, but don't worry about the land configuration. You will see them in the deck description down below. Now before we get into our video, I would please ask you to subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Leave a like if you're enjoying this video so far. Join our Discord server so we can discuss future deck ideas, and with that, I'll see you in the games. Going into our first game of Ulamog, I feel very excited about this deck because it's such a cool concept that I don't expect anyone to kind of play around this or get this. I mean, most opponents are gonna think that we're either a Simic Flash deck, or depending on our start, maybe they would think we are mono blue if you just throw into our blue spells for the first couple of turns. I mean, usually a turn 1 Sailor is quite a big indication that your opponent's playing mono blue, so let's hope opponents do not think that and kind of concede. I do only have 1 red source, one red source, so Electrodominance doesn't look so good right now, but we can always use the Reclamation to get our 2nd red source, meaning that I float the mana, and then on top of the Reclamation float another red mana. That should be enough to get us the 2 red mana needed. And currently I don't think that we are looking forward to cheating in anything with Dominance. I think just stalling with a bunch of borrowers, maybe applying some pressure later on, should be a good enough route for the future. So opponent is thinking very hard about this next play. I don't know why, I don't know what my opponent has in mind. Bonds of Flourishing sounds like a cool card. I mean, usually I play this in my Storm deck because it can search for you. You can search for, it says any permanent card among them, so you can always get the card that storms, which is stats in your Storm. Not like an actual Storm. I do play Storm in Modern, but I would obviously not play a green spell with 2 mana in my Storm deck that searches for permanence, because we are not playing permanence in Storm, in Modern Storm, except for maybe Baral and Goblin Electromancer. So opponent taking his time once again with this turn. I'm guessing he's gonna play a land. I don't know why. Oof. I mean, I can always just call every single play my opponent goes for. I don't know why I have this gift, but I just have it. So Stomping Ground is our other green source, red source if you need it for the future. Just for the tempo play, I'm just going to bounce this now because I don't think I really care. I mean, we could have gotten some life out of it. Do I shock and then try to counter this on the way back? I don't think I do. I really don't think I want to do that because I simply don't think it's worth it. This is going to take at least a turn for it to become a problem. And next turn we can just, I mean, you can bounce it at end step and then just a reclamation, just counter it next turn, I guess. I would rather keep intervention for as long as possible to use it maybe to dig for a Ulamog. Digging for Ulamog is currently my main priority, seeing how I already have Electrodominance in hand. So opponent taking his time to think. Once again, let's just change our owl. So owl, does he look good enough? Like, let's say I believe that this is the coolest one, and maybe it's the Esper playing in me, Esper playing in me liking black, but I don't think that's it. Opponent is taking his time. I think he's just onto us with like the Ulamog flash deck. He's like, wait, I know you're going to exile my permanence, so I'm simply just not going to play any. And that is a very bad strategy. Don't do that. I used to do this when I was playing against, like when I was first starting Magic as a new player. A bunch of times I wouldn't cast my creatures because I would be afraid of a board wipe or a counter spell, so I would just use to wait. And obviously you don't want to wait against a control deck because they're just going to be very happy to reach the long game. So don't do what I did. Don't be a bad control player matchup. Good game. I'm assuming this. Why is it like, okay? I thought my opponent is going to concede just because of this. I was like, what? Wait. So if in this case we could have been able to cast our Frilled Mystic because we have blue, green, and this is your main priority in this deck before getting double red. But sadly we didn't get to that point, so I'm really sorry for all of you. I mean, we are going to do it once. Yes, opponent, keep spamming nice. Please, I beg of you, keep spamming nice. Alright, so we're just going to mute our opponent. I mean, we probably wanted to see his reaction. I could have flashed in Brazen Borrower, but I don't see the need to do that. An opponent thought we might just flash in something, so he was too scared to attack. This is the mental power of playing flash. So do I want to use intervention to dig for the top 3? I don't think I do quite yet. Just going to have this enter tap, flash this in, and just toss. Opponent, if you do anything crazy, I can always toss his intervention and then exile counter a bunch of things. His main plan is probably to like spam a bunch of small creatures so his walker kind of grows very big. But besides that, I don't think he has any other plan. Now, why am I using Vivian Sleeves? That's a very good question. There's another way for you to cheat in Ulamog with a reclamation on the field, which is the 3 mana Vivian from War of the Spark. I personally thought that Electrodominance is cooler and more flexible, but if you do want to see that deck, mention it in the comments below and I will make a brew around it very soon. Just tell me and I'll make sure to keep you happy. So opponent is once again taking his time with this play. I don't think I want to counter this walker because I think just having maybe a J-Lie Ranger next is going to be way more annoying than having a walker. I don't think this is going to stay on top, at least that's my opinion, I might be wrong. So it's very funny how he's getting double the counters now for the walker. Do I want double explore to happen? I think I don't mind. I think we're gonna use Thassa's intervention to take the top 3 cards, because if any of the top 3 cards is Ulamog, I think we just pull so further ahead in the game. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next turn we're gonna have 6 lands, so we literally have the combo online. We have the reclamation. All we're missing is an Ulamog. So I'm gonna try to dig for that, and getting rid of these 2 annoying spells is not also a bad option. Maybe we could Electrodominance one of them and then exile the other one and the Path to Discovery. That should be a good enough play. Opponent's at 41 life, so killing him with an Ulamog is probably going to kill him by just milling him out. We're gonna look at the top 3 cards, so please give us an Ulamog. Can we do this? That's not an Ulamog, but like another Thassa's intervention and an Uro feels also good, so I mean we're fine theoretically. That's not an Ulamog either, but like you have to live with things, So we are very far away from having an active Ulamog. Spectre Sailor is good, because that way I get to do things even when I don't just use Thassa's intervention for value. So we're going to flash in our Sailor, and then we're going to float our mana so we can then use it to draw a card. Maybe we draw into our Frilled Mystic. That's very good in my opinion. Frilled Mystic in this position is good. And because I'm playing to get Frilled Mystic, I'm gonna make sure to keep at least blue, green, so we do have that, so I think we're fine. I could have not tapped this to scry, but I don't think I'm going to scry end of turn. I will most likely use Thassa's intervention to dig a bit deeper. Or I could just Chemister's Insight. Chemister's Insight is also a plan. So I'm probably going to chump whichever Wild Growth Walker goes bigger at this stage. If he goes for Bond of Flourishing and then after that he goes for like another creature spell, I might just counter it and then take all of the damage just to keep our Sailor alive. Or I might just not do anything. It highly depends on what happens this turn. So opponent please don't go overboard. I mean, I'm trying to flash in an Ulamog here, and I need you to slow down just a bit, like a very, very small bit. Like, I enjoy what you're doing, but please, for the love of Jank, slow down. So there's an Ulamog in our top 42 cards because we know one of the cards that we bottomed is the Hinterland Harbor. So we're just trying to find 2 cards in the top 42, and that shouldn't be very hard for us to do. I believe in our power. So Dryad is not a problem because, I mean, he does not have a land in his hand, I'm pretty sure. Unless like he reveals one from the Explore trigger. Alright, so he still doesn't have another one. I'm pretty sure about what I'm saying. I'm 100% sure about what I'm saying. Besides the one he has, I mean, because last turn he skipped a land drop, if I'm not wrong. So I don't think someone skipping a land drop has a land, and we already know that he drew the Bond of Flourishing, so I don't think he's gonna be playing another land. So opponent, I don't know why you're confused, I don't know why you're taking time, I hope it's not an internet issue, I hate when that happens too. But like, please let us get into our Ulamogonator. And yes, the Ulamogonator refers to Phineas and Ferb and the Aetors. Alright, so opponent is probably going to give us, alright, finally opponent comes back. Yes, I don't want to win this game because my opponent keeps on disconnecting. That's just simply not fun for anyone. I mean, maybe winning is cool, but that's not something I'm going for. I want to showcase the power of the Flashamog, which is flashing an Ulamog, obviously. I'm going to chump whichever one the larger one he attacks with, and I'm going to Chemist's Insight. I could have used Sailor, but I mean, Chemist's Insight just throws me into 2 cards as opposed to 1 card with the same mana cost, so like I'm pretty sure you know which one is better. If we get into the thing that I mentioned, which is Ulamog next turn, and then we can just do so much. We can kill the larger one, can then exile the other one and the path. At that stage I'm pretty sure my opponent would concede, but like, who knows what would happen. So opponent attacking, I'm going to chump the biggest one obviously, and then I'm just going to Chemist's Insight. I could have Chemist's Insight first to see what will I draw next turn, but I mean, that's not that big of an issue. Wilderness Reclamation is not a bad top deck because we could use it to just dig deeper into our deck now, because we can use it to draw and to use Chemist's Insight to draw, and that feels good. Currently I still don't have the cards required per Uro to get flashbacks, so that's very sad. I'm going to get a red source just in case for the future, maybe we will need it. I mean, Brazen Borrower having the bounce ability I'm pretty sure will come in handy next turn, so I mean, it doesn't matter which one untapped first. So we're going to float, and float. We're going to discard. No. Well, I'm sorry guys, but I think I should tap more, what's the word? I should tap after looking at the card I'm picking very well. That's what I think, what I learned now. I think we're just going to bounce with our Brazen Borrower because like, I think we're pretty dead if we don't. I mean, we also might have to counter the other walker in place, but I think that's not an option. I mean, that's not a problem because we can just Frilled Mystic. And thankfully I did not get punished because we did not draw into Ulamog, so that's good. And then next turn, we can maybe Fabled Passage, get our Uro going, that way we can draw into our Ulamog. Opponent is at 50 life, so I'm assuming that we're going to beat him by just exiling his library with Ulamog. I don't think there's a way where I beat him by combat damage. And yes, I could attack with the Brazen Borrowers, but I do not want to, for the simple reason that Brazen Borrowers intimidate the opponent. They just look scary, and not attacking with them just proves to your opponent that you are serious about this, and they just do not attack when that happens. They start making bad decisions and they start misplaying. So you might think that I'm the one misplaying, not attacking with my borrowers, but deep down it's a psychology trick, and I'm pretty sure it's working because like opponent is very scary at this stage. It's very scared at this stage. It could have countered the walker, but it's not a problem. I'd rather counter the thing that's going to explore twice, because that's like saving more damage in the long run. Another Wild Growth Walker is something I'm going to counter. Do I have enough mana to scry and counter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I sadly don't have the mana, so I think just countering with whatever mana is good. So opponent, I'm sorry, but like you're attacking me for a bunch, so I had to counter this. I'm very sorry to mess up your plan, but you kind of forced me into that. So currently we only have 37 cards left, and we know that one of them here is Hinterland Harbor, so we only need to dig for 2 cards in the top 36 cards, and I know that you believe in me, and it is with the power of you believing in me that I will get into that position, believe me. So opponent is thinking of how to attack, even though I only have one blocker, and both of his creatures are larger than that blocker. See? Brazen Borrowers staying on the field are just in such a good intimidation factor. They just scare the hell out of your opponent. See? See, like, he's so scared. This is what you do when you have a Brazen Borrower on the field. You just scare everyone. That's the reason why you should not attack with your Borrowers, because they just scare your opponent. I know I'm just joking with this. I don't think it's something we should do. I simply just forgot to attack with my Borrowers for the last couple of turns. But I just didn't want to admit it. So getting a blue source doesn't really matter. We have the mana that we need. We're going to exile everything. I mean, it doesn't really matter as well. I mean, there's no graveyard recursion that we have. If you're playing Uro with some kind of graveyard recursion, do make sure that you escape the correct things, don't escape things that you might need in the future. I'm going to put a land card into the battlefield, why not? Let's just also go Spiral. Please, Ulamog. I mean, where are you, Ulamog? Like, we all want to see you. Trust me, we all want to see you. So I think Thassa's Intervention is our next attempt at hitting an Ulamog. See, there's an Ulamog here. There's an Ulamog here. So like, I believe in the powers of Ulamoginators. So no attacks, obviously. We're going to end our turn. The fact that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana makes me feel very comfortable about playing Thassa's Intervention for a big price, because I don't need to untap all of the lands with Reclamation to use them. I mean, I don't need to use all the mana generated by Reclamation to flash an Ulamog. I don't need that big of a number. Meaning that we can do it for mostly all of the mana here. We can just keep one mana floating. So opponent probably thinks that I'm playing Expansion Explosion, and he's going to be very surprised when he sees a flashed in Ulamog. Because he probably thinks that he's very safe with this very high life total, because like he goes like, Expansion Explosion for how much? Nothing is going to kill me. So the fact that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're just going to keep one mana out of all of these. So we can do Thassa's Intervention for 12. And that, if that does not get me into our Ulamog, I don't think we're just destined to flash an Ulamog at this stage. So Thassa's Intervention for 12, do make sure you keep one mana for your Electrodominance and Ulamog turn. So can we hit it? And yes, we do hit our Ulamog. I think the next thing I want with an Ulamog is probably a... We can either go for another Thassa's Intervention, or we can go for Spectre Sailor to start gaining more card advantage incrementally, and I think that's the route I'm going to go for, because I think we do need card advantage at this stage. Electrodominance for 10. Opponent, you're not going to see what hit you. So we're gonna do 10 damage to this first walker. Auto tap, it doesn't matter, you're tapping aura mana anyways. So we're gonna do 10 damage to the walker. We're gonna cast Ulamog, and because we cast Ulamog, we get to exile 2 things. So we're going to exile that walker, and we're going to exile that passive discovery. So opponent, if you're still not intimidated at this stage, you should be, because Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, just got flashed. And whatever happens at this stage, I'm just happy that the combo worked. I don't want anything else. So opponent is probably spamming nice. Let's see. Let's unmute him for a bit just to see what he thinks. Opponent does not think about, does not like have any thoughts about our flashing in Ulamog turn. Just thinks that he's just very mad. I just feel like he's mad deep down. Just because of how much I rant, I usually feel when people are ranting, and I'm pretty sure that he is right now. He's like, who flashes in Ulamog? I mean, what the hell was that? And I feed the opponent. I mean, this is not the usual thing that people usually do. And opponent, are you roping us because like there's an Ulamog on the field, or are you actually just disconnected? I will give my opponent the benefit of the doubt, because he's been disconnecting for the past while. Besides that, alright, so opponent is not roping us. I never doubted the opponent. The Bolas Citadel could be annoying. It could be very annoying actually, but I mean it could be also the reason we win, because like Ulamog is going to exile all of his library maybe. So please whiff. Opponent not whiff just yet. Please whiff. Alright, the opponent doesn't whiff. So we're obviously going to block. Alright, he doesn't attack. I was like, we're going to block with our Ulamog, obviously. So attack with Uro, attack with Ulamog. Opponent, do you like the top 20 cards of your library? Well, I hope you do, because they're gone. Boom! Oh, he's bringing the Otherlith. That's super cool. That's actually super cool, opponent. I'm sorry that like Ulamog is ruining your dreams, but like you have to admit this is a pretty cool deck. So we probably did not bottom our other Ulamog, meaning that we might just draw into it and cast the other one. Should have attacked with the Borrowers, yes, but again, Borrowers are just scary. Trust me, they are. And this time I actually did not forget. This time I'm actually standing with the decision of not attacking with the borrowers, because borrowers are just an intimidation factor. Like, think about it this way. Imagine you're going to a battlefield and then you see this thing. Do you continue your attack? Obviously you do not. Obviously you just stop, you retrace, not the mechanic, like you actually retrace and you just run away. So opponent, are you roping us again? Opponent, please don't be roping us. I mean, you have to respect the Ulamoginator. Opponent does not respect the Ulamoginator. Alright, he does. So he's going to do damage, but it's not really mattering to him. I'm going to draw Spiral first because... Alright, so does Electrodominance end the game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times Arcade doesn't end the game, obviously. Let's just try to draw into our Ulamog using a Spectre Sailor, that way we can just deal with the Bolas' Citadel. I actually drew Ulamog off the top. Alright, that feels super good. That feels super good, and I drew into another Electrodominance that we could use for next turn. So you do not get to see one Ulamog getting flashed in, you actually get to see two. And this Electrodominance is going to go face. Electrodominance, I mean, okay, I need to like save up some mana, so like I'm sorry you're gonna have to see this loop, but like I thought I had enough lands, simply did not notice. So opponent, you're going to see another flashed Ulamog, and I'm very sorry that you had to meet this fate. So autopay doesn't really matter. So what do I want to cast for 10 mana or less? Of course, not Spectre Sailor. Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. So Citadel and Seeker's Squires feels like the best thing to exile. This is not doing anything. Yes, I know that it's my go opponent. Alright, so opponent is probably pissed. I'm going to keep the untapped Ulamog because I want to block with it maybe. Alright, opponent is gonna keep spamming his emo, so I'm just going to mute him. He has another Citadel, so let's try to draw into our Thassa's... Alright, we draw into Frilled Mystic as well. I wanted to draw into Thassa's Intervention, but it doesn't seem like we're going to draw into that. Opponent, you just dead next turn by an Ulamog attack, or you just want me to kill you with an Electrodominance. See, Electrodominance at this stage is actually lethal. And opponent... Alright, so opponent can tap this for green just because he has a Triad on the field. So opponent, what do you explore? Alright, feels good that we're going to exile this from your library next turn. So how do you want me to kill my opponent? Do I just Electrodominance him into death? Or do I just exile out of his library? That's a very good question. I think we're just going to do one of them. And I'm very sorry for that, but I think we're just going to go with one route. So opponent is thinking very hard about his Explore trigger. That's very sad, like, he's kind of ruining my Ulamog vibe. Like, opponent, just let me attack with my Ulamog and have my fun. Ulamog's leg here just looks like a sausage. Like literally. Like, I thought this was a sausage at first, like the first time I saw this card. I mean, look at Ulamog, look at how beautiful this is. A force as voracious as time itself. It's very scary, I have to say that. Ulamog is scary, but is he as scary as the Brazen Borrower? Of course he is not. Like, the main reason our opponent didn't attack last turn wasn't because I had an active Ulamog. It was because I had an active Brazen Borrower. Thank you, Borrower, for holding the fort so bad. And you think Borrower is holding keys for what? Borrower is holding keys for your opponent's dreams. Alright, so opponent finally finishes all of his very hard Explore trigger. Thank you, opponent, for not taking too long. I really appreciate it. So opponent, yes, rope me at the start of my upkeep too. Thank you, thanks a lot. Like, if someone flashed in Ulamog against me, I would have actually laughed. Yes, I do tilt. I'm not gonna lie, I do tilt and I do rant, but I don't rope someone. And like, seeing jank like this makes me happy. I don't like complain when I see janks like this. I don't rope someone. Like, maybe if he's playing a meta deck and like I'm very annoyed, I would be tilted. But I wouldn't rope him, because roping just wastes your time and your opponent's time. So what I want you to learn from this video is not to rope your opponent, because it's not getting you any advantage, just wasting his time and your time. Like, hopefully I'm not wasting your time with this roping, because I get to talk to you and I hope you find me entertaining enough to give me some of your time, and I'm really sorry that he's roping you. I think we're just going to kill him with the Ulamog route, just to like kind of rub it in his face. Opponent, you have no library, you have no dreams. Just give up and concede. So we're just going to pass into our next turn. We're not going to do anything. I could have killed him with an Electrodominance for 30, but opponent doesn't deserve that. So that's going to be pretty much it for the deck. If you enjoyed this game, please do consider to subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. If you enjoyed this video, like and join our Discord server so we can discuss future deck ideas, maybe the Vivian deck. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.